Yeah, what people do in private does not concern me, because I don't want to know. If a man locks himself in a house with another man, I don't want to know what they do in there. But what people do in public concerns me, especially if somebody comes to me and wants to have that kind of issue with me. I think I'll tell him I'm sorry, and that's as far as it goes. But we live in a country where I am a lawyer and I'm a professor of law and I teach human rights. The generic answer that I'll give to that is if people want to do what they want to do in private, that's their own business. I have no legal authority to follow people and follow them into what they do privately. But being where I come from, the word homosexuality has never been a vocabulary of the people that brought me up, so I don't want to say anything more than that.
All right. You have very extensive educational background from attending various universities in the UK and also in the US. How will this extensive educational background help, and how does it prepare you? That's the question, for this duty as the president of Kenya.
Well, to be honest with you, a lot of countries and organizations have used me in one way, have used my experience in one way or the other. I was part of the group that we wrote up stuff for East Timor when Timor was actually breaking away from Indonesia. I've also been involved in rewriting the constitution of South Africa. I'm also involved with other non-government organizations, particularly the chairpersons of Mexico who want to be independent. The vast experience I have is one that will make me make better decisions, especially based on my experiences outside the country. Okay, we have two things here. We have people who are academics, they think like academics, and we have people who are academics who think like any other person. I'm in the second category. The kind of education I had was not a traditional education. It was somebody's education. I went, learned the language of that person, went to school with that same, did the same exam, passed my exam, and I refused to become like him because I'm a Kenyan. Now, the experience I have, particularly in the constitution, economics, and other areas, will help me make better decisions than if I didn't have the experience. I'll give an example of dependency. Kenya depends on handouts from outside the country, and those handouts are not very cheap. They come with a price, particularly if the country is borrowing from the World Bank or from the international monetary institutions. The conditions that come for repaying off the loans are very stringent. If I'm a president, and I'm going to be one, let me put it the way Barack used to say, if I'm sitting in the White House or in the State House in Kenya, and I was brought in some questions, I will not wait for political advisors to advise me. I will look at it first of all and find out whether it's in the best interest of our country. Now, if we have a constitution that will be my guiding principles, then I'll look at the constitutions, because I'll swear when I'm sworn in as the first president of the Republic of Kenya, I'll swear to uphold the constitution, hopefully a new constitution, and I'll also look at what is coming in the country in terms of the conditions that come with the loans. But if the loans are hurting, I'll not want to go and ask John Smith to advise me. I'll look at the conditions and I say, hey, these ones are not viable conditions for my country. We can't actually take this debt, this loan, and have it as a debt forever. These stringents that come with the loans have to be looked into. Then after that, now refer the issue to the committee of experts, and hopefully those experts will be Kenyans, patriotic Kenyans, who look at it that way. But when it comes to the courts, I'm very much interested in looking at what the judges are doing in court without interfering with them. I would very much want to look at the institutions of governance to see whether they are abiding by the law. But trust me, I will not interfere with the judicial system and appoint commissions, endless commissions, and dwell on those commissions for ages and ages and ages, and then at the end of the day, all blames everywhere. I'll look at everything, just like Clinton when he was the president of the United States, for example. Clinton wrote his own speeches, or if speeches were written for him, he went through them thoroughly. And that's why he was one of the most eloquent presidents America has ever had. Barack Obama, he uses his legal education to make proper judgments in whatever he says. But if he did not have that kind of experience, I'm sure he will be like George Bush, whereby whatever comes on his table, he comes up with stupid policies like, if you are not with America, you are not part of us. So we need to look at the institution of governance, look at the law, and reflect on the law, and let the institutions run, but I will be keeping an eye on everything.
What is your absolute vision that you want to see for Kenya beyond 2012 that is going to be a success to each and every Kenyan out there?
My vision is integrity, accountability, working institutions, clean police force, thriving economy including industrialization, affordable education, free healthcare, clean air and water, working infrastructure, security, renewable sources of energy, massive privatization and liberalization of trade, promotion of agriculture and desertification programs, education of illiteracy, rooting for gender equity, and afforestation program. I will also work closely with our neighbors to achieve a united East African state where people will be free to trade without barriers. By the year 2030, we need Kenya industrialized nation.
Professor, this is a little loaded. Could be a little loaded, but very well intended, not to box in a corner, just warning. The entire thing here is that a united East Africa or an East African community is a really good idea, because if we have one big country or one big economy negotiating with other countries, we have a stronger bargaining power. As things are now, Yoweri Museveni, the president of Uganda, actually put his presidential term to a limitless point, in the sense that he managed to buy off all the members of parliament in Uganda to ensure that a president can run as many times as they want. And this is intended for Museveni's benefit. So being a strong believer in progressive change and good governance and freedom and good constitutional order, obviously Museveni has created a defective political order. How are you going to straddle between working towards a unity while at the same time paying attention to bad governance? Because then you will have opposing forces within yourself. You believe in good constitutional order while you have to cooperate with somebody who has literally trampled the constitution.
Well, while I don't have evidence before me here on what you have said, the international community is becoming a global village. Museveni, if at all he's done those things that I have said, if at all it's true, he's not above the law. We can always use other methods to bring him on the table and to tell him, you know what, if the Velia of Haiti went, and if Bokassa of Congo Republic went, if Mobutu of Zaire of Congo went, he's also on his way. Museveni is not a big problem, because even Ugandans, and of course I was interviewed by Ugandan radio the other day and I was asked on the same question. Museveni's term has come to an end, because the people of Uganda are very tired of his hypocrisy and dictatorship. He came in as a good man. I loved him a lot many years ago. But right now, no love between me and him because of his demonic kind of tendencies. But because we are operating as a small world, because we have come up as a global village, I think that's a problem that can be brought up within the international sphere, particularly the United Nations and the European Union, to help us deal with that. So that's not a big problem at all. That can be dealt with from the international circle.